Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the LFI. My name is Tersh. I'm the host. Today we have Chuck Brown with Infinity Incorporated.
Hey, good to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Hashtag we make it click. We make IT click.
IT click.
Not it.
Right.
IT. Tell me a little bit about Infinity Incorporated.
The company's owned by my brother David, myself. We've been in Savannah for 20 years.
Okay.
We are a full-service network management and IT company.
Okay. So what does that mean? And whenever somebody sees your logo, that's Infinity, that's not Xfinity.
That's correct.
I've made that mistake at a networking event, and that was an awkward conversation.
Yeah, a lot of people have. It's an easy thing to mix up the way the X has become, but yeah, we're not Comcast, not Xfinity. What it means is that we act like your outsourced IT department. So basically, companies who either have resources internally, but they need more resources than they have, or they want a backup or things like that, or companies that have no IT resources come to us, and we do everything from designing the network, ensuring the network is stable and secure, managing the network on a day-to-day basis, operating a help desk so the users can call in, and anything in between that deals with the network.
Now, are these large businesses or small businesses, or?
The smallest client we have has 4 or 5 workstations. The largest has, I think, 150. So it's a fairly wide range.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It just depends on making sure they're a good fit.
Gotcha. So now, pardon my ignorance, so I don't understand hardly anything IT related. So if somebody wanted to like remote into an office, is that something that you would handle?
Absolutely.
So,
Pretty much anything that deals with your network.
okay.
The only thing we don't do, we don't do cell phones. We don't work on cell phones. Now, if it's a matter of getting your cell phone to work with your email on your network and you're one of our clients, then we would do that. But pretty much anything, printers, servers, laptops, desktops, remote access, security. If you are a healthcare, we have a lot of healthcare clients. Some of those we help them with HIPAA issues to make sure that they're compliant and their security is up to par and things like that.
So, with that being said, do you actually sell the products also, or okay, so like a printer and stuff like that? So, okay,
Sure.
Awesome, that's really cool. Okay, so let's get back into the actual starting of the business. And it's you and your brother. How did that happen? You're both from Savannah, born and raised here?
Both from Savannah. We both graduated from Armstrong with computer science degrees. I think the year that I went was the first year that Armstrong actually had a legitimate computer science degree. I graduated from Armstrong, went to work for the city of Savannah, and was instrumental in helping the city migrate from large mainframes down to networks. And during that time—
Wait a minute, what does that mean?
Well, back in that time,
like,
most people that had computing power, it was done with a mainframe. And a mainframe was a large computer that took up the size of this room.
Oh, okay.
And about that time, Novell and Microsoft were coming out with things that would let you take personal computers. The first personal computer we bought, I think, was dedicated to word processing, and it cost about $8,000 that the city bought. But people started doing that to distribute power, so you would have the computing power at your desk instead of in this back office mainframe.
Gotcha, okay.
And it was time to do a mainframe refresh, to buy another one. And we started exploring options to go, can we convert this to this newer technology, which was networking? So we went through that, sold that project to the city and the city manager, and implemented it, and had started doing a little bit of outside work, was kind of getting bored with the city, so it got to the point where I really couldn't serve both well at the same time.
Gotcha.
So decided to go off on my own, and about the same time, David, who is 5 years younger than I, was working for the U.S. District Courts here, decided to do the same thing.
Oh,
so
wow.
in 1999, we split off and started doing our own thing, and we've been together ever since.
Voila. And it truly is a family affair as far as that goes. From what I understand, you keep everything really tight-knit, and like birthday parties and everything. It's, how many employees work with you?
We, I think, have 24 today. Goes back into, but I believe we're 24 today.
100% agree with that. For everything that I've heard working on your team, it's very much a family atmosphere. Can you explain that a little bit?
Sure. From the very beginning, David and I are both Christians, and it was important to us to run our company a certain way with certain values. We treat our employees, we treat our vendors, we treat our customers with respect. Basically, we wanted a company where if you need to take off to be at your kid's soccer game, I want you to be free to do that because family comes before business.
Wow.
And we have every month we have a I'm not sure we have every month. Every month we have a staff meeting. Sorry, lost a word there. And David and I alternate with what we call Boss's Birthday Bake Off, and we each bake a cake. We switch months.
Oh, that's cool.
To celebrate all the birthdays of employees had that month.
That month, yeah.
Each quarter we try to have an outing. We have an outing coming up. Something we've done for several years is we rent out a local shooting range, and we bring in pizza or whatever that night. We have shooting events or whatever. It's just something. It's something to get our team together, get them functioning on a friendly basis, and just get them to know each other and relate better.
So tell me, do you have any? Is there ever any kickback on that? I mean, that's a really cool idea. And the birthday thing, I think I first maybe heard of that with Entree Leadership with Dave Ramsey or something like that. And I've always thought about implementing that, but I don't have 12 employees that have a birthday in every month, so I couldn't do it every single month. I guess probably quarterly, maybe.
We do it. We have months that we don't have a birthday. I mean, it's a cake.
Just cake. Just eat a cake.
Well, what we do for the staff meeting, honestly, and I don't think a lot of it anymore because we've done it so long, it's kind of second nature. But one of the things we've heard from employees, especially new employees, is, wow, we've never had staff meetings like that, because we bring our guys in, we talk to them about our successes and our failures. We do a lot of feedback stuff. So with every ticket we send out a survey to our customers. We get a lot of feedback. We get things saying how great our staff is, this person helped me, and we celebrate those things. And we get some negatives sometimes. This was a problem. This didn't work the way I thought it would. We talk about those kind of things as well. We share how the company is doing financially. I mean, we try to be very open with our staff about where we are and how we're doing. And we want to make sure that our team knows, I mean, they're a great team and they do a great job. And so we want to praise them for doing that. And the staff meetings, the cakes, the lunches, those are just kind of a way to go, we're all in this together as we go forward.
Yeah, I love that. I love that thought process. And I know a couple of companies that I've talked to in the past, they'll set aside a certain percentage of revenue or of net profit to put back into those types of events and those things. And I feel like the companies that will dedicate the money and the resources to taking care of their employees and their team members, that they tend to be the most successful companies.
Well, one of our 10-year goals was to be, we sat back several years ago and came up with 10-year goals. One of those 10-year goals was to be the best place to work in Savannah, which is a lofty goal. And on a fairly frequent basis, we will sit down with our staff and go, okay, here's where we are. What do we need to do? At the point, and this goes back, I guess, 3-4 years ago, we had outgrown the building we were in, and we were having these conversations, and our employees said, we want windows, because we were in a little condo area where nobody had access to windows except the front desk person. And they said windows. So it took David and I a couple of years to find the right place, but now pretty much everyone has, they may not sit by a window, but they have view of a window everywhere, because that was important to them in their working environment. So we try to listen to that stuff.
Tell me the weirdest request you've ever gotten
From
employee.
From an employee.
What was your feedback?
The weirdest request we ever got, and I still don't know if it was completely tongue-in-cheek, but we were talking about, you notice how easy this one is to come up with. We were talking about best place to work, and employees said, what about pet insurance? You guys going to offer pet insurance? And we were
Pet insurance?
No, we're not. But as it turns out, the PEO that we're with now actually offers pet insurance if you want. You have to pay for it, but it's
Get out of here.
So
there's nothing that you won't do.
It wasn't intentional, to be fair, but you can get pet insurance now if you want it. So that was probably the oddest request we've ever had.
That's really cool. I like it. So that leads me into, this year, the Pooler, the Pooler, I don't even have Pooler written anywhere on my Pooler's on my brain somehow, I guess. The Savannah Chamber of Commerce, y'all were voted the Business of the Year.
Yes, we were.
Congratulations on that. That's really cool.
We were very proud for that. It was a huge success for the team. You know, our company is successful because of the team we have. We have got, hands down, the greatest IT support team here, and they're really in it. I mean, that's the thing, and our success is based on them. The accolades we get from clients. And honestly, it is not unusual that weekly I get something from a CEO that says, that person and name somebody, they're just fantastic. They helped me, they didn't make me feel stupid, they walked me through this problem, or they put up with this. We hear that a lot, and that just, it's just a testament to what a great team we have.
And see, it's funny you say that, because anytime I've met anybody that works with you at networking events, because Lord knows I go to a lot of networking events, and your team's typically there almost every time I go somewhere, and they're always the most pleasant people to talk to and everything. And so do you feel like you hire based on personality and then train technical, or are these people just...
We try to hire based on core values.
Okay.
We've always had, everybody has core values, whether you identify them or not, but a few years ago, the leadership team, we sat down and we tried to come up to kind of codify what our core values are. And what we came up with were do the right thing always. And that's, no company is going to say, well, we don't really try to do the right thing.
Right.
But the truth is, every time you say, there wasn't really a right thing, that's not true. There's always a right thing, always. So I will have an employee come to my office and go, Chuck, that thing we did over here, well, that wasn't really the right thing. And we'll say, okay, well, what's the right thing to do? Let's go fix it. And sometimes that costs us money, sometimes it doesn't. But we try to do the right thing. And again, that extends to our employees, our customers, our vendors. I mean, you're going to do the right thing or you're not. So that's one thing. The second is continuous improvement. We always want to try to be better as a company, and we've spent a lot of time and resources over the last couple of years writing process so that we can give consistently excellent results. And it takes time and it takes effort to do that. And the third thing is fanatical customer service. We want, you don't call us typically because you're happy. You call us because you're having a problem. Well, we've talked to coach our staff a lot, and when you hang up, you can go, they fixed my problem, or you can go, my day is now better than it was when I called them, because they took care of me and they cared.
Yeah.
So that's what we want. And when we sit down, you can take someone who is very good technically, but frankly a jerk, and no matter what you do, they're going to be a jerk. But you can take somebody who needs work technically, but is a great person, meets our core values, and you can bring them up technically where they need to be. So we really try to hire based on core values. We try to hire so that you're going to fit in with our team, you're going to fit in with our clients, and you're going to leave our clients happy that they worked with us.
I love that. That's a lot of the way that I try to hire the same way. In our industry, the air conditioning industry is kind of a dying trade. So the only way that we're going to continue to grow our industry is to hire based on values and then train technically.
Absolutely.
And I love the way that you mentioned that. Now, with your procedures and your policies and procedures, when you record those, do you record those in a book and everybody kind of knows how to do it, or?
We have a piece of software that we have called IT Glue.
Okay.
And what IT Glue is, it is made for documenting standard operating procedures.
Okay.
It's an online system that maintains revisions, and actually every person on the team is expected to contribute. Whatever your job area is,
I like it.
If there's something that's going to have to be done to be replicated and it's not documented, you're supposed to document it. And we got a lot of work to do, but they've generated thousands of those.
Yeah.
And again, the idea is that if somebody new comes in, can they do things the way we want them done over and over again, because that's really the only way we can be efficient, and it's the only way we can give consistent results.
Consistency is key. I really like that, and I really like the point that you made about it's kind of like the Toyota philosophy of anybody in the assembly line can stop can press the red button and stop the assembly line. You don't have to be a manager to bring up something. I feel like that's kind of how the mentality is with your business.
Sure.
Awesome. Cool. So let's get into kind of what makes you tick the way you tick.
Okay.
The fun questions. So thinking back on your youth, or even present day, who would you say is a major influencer with you and your life?
Probably who comes to mind is my grandfather, my mother's father. He was a master carpenter, and he actually was one of the project managers in a lot of the churches around downtown Savannah. Cool. He did it for a lot of years, and even at 80 years old, I was young, smart aleck kid. He could work me to death. But one of the things that I will always remember about him is, and if you compare to a lot of home building today, not all, I certainly wouldn't diss all home builders, but a lot of home building today, if you walk in and you see a piece of crown molding, it's obvious that they didn't take care to make sure the pieces match.
The joints.
The joints don't match. And I can remember many times me putting something up, my grandfather walking up with a crowbar, tearing it and saying, do it again. It's not right. And he would take the crown molding and he would take out his pocket knife and he would carve it until it fit perfectly. He did it over and over again until it was right. And he expected that of me. And sometimes in business that's hard because it is more economical to do things the expedient way than the right way.
Yeah.
And there is a time when you have to understand, customers, if you're in the business of selling Fords, a customer doesn't want to buy a Mercedes. I get that. But you can't have the attitude that good enough is good enough either.
Right.
You have to make sure you're doing things the right way, or have an honest conversation with the client and go, okay, we have a couple of options here. This one's better than this one. This one may suit your needs, but they're both right.
Right.
But when they don't fit, they're wrong. And that's probably the single biggest thing that comes to mind.
And you attribute your grandfather to teaching you that. I love that. I really like that. It's just because it fits doesn't make it doesn't make it right. If there's a better option,
right,
then you're giving them the wrong option.
And there's times with clients when we have sat down and gone, okay, we can sell you this, but you don't really need that. You can go somewhere else and get this, and it's really a better fit for you.
And it's crazy because there's a lot of people out there who are looking at the bottom line and saying, you really don't need this, but you keep asking me for this, and I'll make a lot more money if you do this.
Right.
And then what I hear you say is like, look, we're not interested in getting rich off of you. We're interested in you being a satisfied client.
We are interested in, and we tell every prospect this, we're interested in a long-term relationship. I don't have a lot of desire to come in and sell you something and walk away.
Yeah.
We want a long-term. We have clients that have been with us the entire time we've been in business, and we know who they are, they know who we are. We've sat down, we've talked about our kids. I mean, it's a long-term strategic relationship. Whenever we talk to someone about sales, we don't believe we do sales. We do education.
I like that.
I can come to you and I can try to sell something which has an implication that I'm going to push something on you that you don't really need. Or I can come to you and I can explain what I can do to you that will make your life better and help you achieve your business goals. And if it sparks with you, you're going to want to buy it, and I'm going to make money as a byproduct of that. Right. So the attempt is not to make money. The attempt is to give you what you need, which in turn will make me money. So
I love that because people come to you because they need your services.
Right.
They don't come to you just because they're bored.
Right.
And so for you to offer something that they need, that's not selling them something. That's that's satisfying their needs.
Right.
Yes.
It's education. Sure.
Absolutely. I love that. Okay, so you're from Savannah. You're born and raised here. You went to school here, and you've been in business for 20 years here.
Yes.
What is something about Savannah that you don't absolutely love? Something that you would like to change? You would like to see changed?
Probably, I mean, there's a lot of tentacles to this, but probably education.
Okay.
There are a lot of people, I think the focus on education has improved tremendously in the last few years. You've got large companies like, the Ports, Gulfstream, whatever, that are pouring money into trying to help the job force. But, you go into some of these schools and they don't have the tools that they need. The teachers aren't paid what they need to be paid, and then you don't have a way to get bad teachers out and good teachers in. And there's just a lot there politically and socioeconomically that we're never going to get the city where it needs to be until we have a way to consistently train a good workforce.
So what's the solution to that?
Well, one of the solutions is for people like ourselves, people who are successful to some degree, to mentor, to take people under their wing, to be able to share what they know. The city has this program to bring in kids for internships and all these different. I think as a business owner,
the summer 5,000.
Yes.
Well, that's a great program.
But I mean, all of us have some opportunities, and maybe it is as simple as going once or twice a year to mentor a kid or to give a talk at a school. Maybe it is an internship. Maybe your business doesn't lend itself to internships, but you can speak somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe you can sponsor a kid. There's 1,000 ways to do it, and if we all do just a little bit, it'll kind of raise all the boats.
Have you heard of this? There's a program, a friend of mine, Brian Dasher, he's a part of it, but it's a mentorship. I believe it's put on by Gulfstream, or it's either Gulfstream or Georgia Ports, and they go around and they mentor high school students from the freshman year on up to the senior year. Have you heard of that program?
Heard of that.
I just heard about it recently, and it's amazing. I haven't checked it out yet, but
there's a lot around. I know Excel Strategies is out there. There's every day you hear about new ones of these, and there's almost no excuse.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, I agree.
You could say, I don't have the money to give, but I have some time. I don't have the time to give, but I have money. I don't have either of those, but I have a spot in my company. There is something that each one of us can do to help a little bit. Some help a lot, some help a little, but all of us should help some.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I love it. So before we end, is there anything that you want to add? If there's a way, if somebody has a question and wants to get in touch with you, if somebody wants to reach out and use you for your services,
sure.
What's the best way to get in touch with you or your business?
Our website, infinityinc.us. Call,
okay.
912-650-1816.
Okay.
Just reach out. We'll be glad to help with them.
Yep. And your motto is?
We make technology make sense. And I will touch on that. One of the things early on, one of the reasons we were successful is because 20 years ago, for the most part, if you were a small business, you either relied on a hack, somebody who worked out of the garage, didn't really know much, or you did without it figured out yourself. The only real quality IT services were made for large companies. You could bring IBM in to do things. So there was a real need there, and where we found our niche was in sitting down with business owners and having a conversation.
Just making it make sense.
That's exactly it. Sit down and just talk to them. And that's one thing that we heard over and over. Hey, you guys are really good at this. You don't talk down to me. You don't talk geek to me. You just tell me what I need to know. And we've never tried to withhold information. If you want to sit down and have a lengthy discussion about different types of SANs and networks and fiber, we'll be glad to do that. On the other hand, if you just want us to sit down and talk about your needs and how we can address those, we'll do that. So we're able to work with you on whatever level you want to work with, but we want it to make sense to you. We don't want to send you a quote for this sum of money, and at the top it just says, we're doing work for you.
Right, yeah.
We want you to understand what you're getting and go, that sounds like a good idea to me, let's do that. So it's a collaboration or partnership, and that's what's always been important to us.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for everything that you do for the community and for your employees, because it radiates to their family, and then their family, it radiates out in the community. So it's obvious. I mean, just talking with your employees at lunches, I mean, it's very obvious. So
thank you. Glad to hear that.
Thank you very much. And everybody that's out there, I thank you for listening and watching in. And if there's anything that we can do, if there's anything that they can do to help you out, please do not hesitate to reach out to them. It's a great company. Obviously voted the best business of the year in the Savannah Chamber of Commerce. And also, really quick, before we go, because I have it written at the top, but I did forget, the Chamber Power Hour in November. Do you know the date on that by chance? Do you know the date? I don't know the date. We'll put it on in the show notes.
Great.
You'll be speaking at that.
Yes,
so
sir.
Perfect. We'll be there, and we will see you there. And everybody have a great day, and we'll see you again next Tuesday.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, bud.